All right, today I am here with one of our premier customers on Legit, Bybbee, and he's going to walk us through what he does and how he's found success and some of the ways he uses Legit to help him out with that. So thanks for coming on today, Jeff.
Sure. Yeah. Happy to be here.
You want to just tell us a little bit about like what your business is and what you do and how you got started and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So I run a digital agency. We're called Rethink Web Solutions. I've been doing it now for full time now for about 4 years. And right from the beginning, thanks to Chris and thanks to Legit, I got my first SEO client. And that was my introduction into SEO. I had worked for GoDaddy previously as a
Oh,
sales rep, so not too much like marketing experience, but they teach you what goes behind the scenes of getting a website up and running. You work with domains, and then you try to sell people on services that they may or may not actually need. And yeah, anyways, that was my whole experience behind it. I didn't love the sales part, but I liked all the technical stuff. I knew what SEO was and wanted to learn more. So ended up joining Superstar SEO. That's kind of where I got my start. Started learning, started taking on a couple web design clients. I did all the work myself,
oh wow.
just learning. I still have some of those websites up and running today, and
Awesome.
I look at them now and I'm like, oh, I hate that website. That's just how it is. And then kind of funny story on how Legit and all this stuff helped me out, and Superstar SEO from the beginning was my very first paid marketing client that wasn't just a one-off website. It wasn't just some random kind of project that a family or friend was handing to me. And it's kind of funny because to this day that client ended up being the most high ticket, paying me the most money type client that I still have ever had to this day. And the reason why that was is because I built his website. Pretty sure I used Legit to help with that, because it was definitely a higher caliber website than I had used to have built. So I was still learning the web design thing. And then, I just hit off really good with this guy. He didn't know me personally, but he was a friend of a friend, and we met in person. And he's like, I really want to like take my marketing to the next level. I really want to do SEO, and what would it take to get you involved in this and have you do that for me? And so I knew what my full-time job paid, and I knew, after taxes anyways, and I knew how much I needed to charge this guy to be able to because I didn't trust myself to do SEO on the side or to do marketing on the side. I thought I have to be like available 40 hours a week, and I can't tell this guy that I'm doing it on the side. And so long story short, ended up using what I learned with Superstar SEO and the different services from Legit to get him signed at $3,000 a month, which eventually turned to $3,500 a month. And so over the next year and a half, it was a 1099. I wasn't an employee. I was just getting paid every month from him, and we worked super closely. But over the next year and a half, I learned, more about SEO, more about marketing, and it's led me to now, working full time for 4 years, and so really really changed my life as far as ditching a 9 to 5 and starting to work for myself.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
So you do mostly like web design now or client SEO or what's your model?
So that's a great question, and I don't even know how to answer that because I mean, it's basically it's a web design, Facebook ads, Facebook meta ads, whatever. A little bit of SEO still, high level CRM setup type stuff, and then whatever combination of that the client needs or wants, basically. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
It's kind of a all-in-one type of agency.
Yeah, all in one type of agency, which has some pros and has some cons to it. But I'm pretty good at all those things, so I hate saying no to it. But at the same
Right.
time, it does make it hard to scale when you're real small. But
So one of the things that helps you scale is outsourcing. Is that right?
yeah, absolutely.
What
So
what's some of the stuff you like to outsource?
so SEO, when it comes to backlinks, I've pretty much only really used Legit exclusively. I do less SEO than I used to do, like really involved SEO. And some of the clients I have, they're already ranking, so I just maintain. It's not a big deal. And so backlinks for sure. And then there's two services that I use with Legit that are just like go to, or two types of services, and that's web design and logo design. So I mean, there's lots of great people that'll do logos on Legit, and it's funny because it's not something that I necessarily want to make a ton of money off of, or
Right.
something that I want to market or talk to clients about, but it just gets brought up. And some of these, if you've ever worked with small business owners, or even larger business owners, that they need all the help they can get. And
Right.
sometimes they don't have a logo. Sometimes they have a very old logo that's not high resolution. And so for, not very much money at all, you can get a really quality logo for your client instead of saying, hey, no, I know I'm going to do your website. I know I'm going to do your marketing, but no, I can't do a logo. You just
Yeah.
do it on Legit. Boom, you have it.
That's great to hear. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't, and it's obviously it's on me for not getting the word out, but a lot of people think of us as the SEO marketplace. But the truth is, like, we have a lot of really talented graphics and programmers and a lot of other areas too.
Yeah.
Do
I
you have
mean,
any particular ones you want to recommend?
there's a lot of really good ones out there, but one that comes to mind is Ahmed Abram.
Yeah, I'm in
And yeah, he has a bunch of different services. I've used quite a few of them, including the logo, and his logos are really good. His communication is really good, but the probably my favorite service of all time with Legit that I still use is his web design service,
there.
and it's just like,
It's like Market Crusher or something, right?
yeah, market crusher. And the way I do that for, my clients or whatever is I sell them on a website. I order it through Ahmed. He does, what I consider 90% of the actual work. So he builds, the 5-page website, 10-page website, whatever I need. And then if the customer wants design changes, which usually they don't really want design changes, usually they see the website, they're very impressed, and they just want to make, very small edits. So unless they need major edits, I tell Ahmed, I said, hey, they want to change this or they want something more like this. And then he does that. That's part of his service. But most of the time they don't even need that. So by the time Ahmed delivers, the service to me, I have it set up, hosted. Client just wants to change a couple things. I do that on my end, and it's done. So I'm making minimum 3-4x of what I'm charging. What I'm paying on Med. And so that's a no-brainer. And in fact, I'm actually trying to see if I can scale that side of my agency because I like that. I like doing that so much because it's a tangible product that you get to
Right.
hand someone. It's not just a, hey, we're gonna do marketing, and then you hope and pray that they like it. So
Yeah,
that would be the service.
it's more tangible is a good way to put it. But it's not this like abstract like SEO can be. So
Exactly.
yeah, you don't
Yep.
have to explain to somebody why a good looking website is important. I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's cool to hear. I'm glad you
Yeah.
had that experience. I don't like doing web design at all. So whenever I need something, I get something through web design. In fact, or through Legit too. Like I'm
Yeah.
getting my own site redesigned.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I mean that's the funny thing is I think most people they think of Legit or maybe even other whatever freelance websites, whatever you want to call them, marketplaces, and they think like, okay, yeah, logo's an obvious service that people think about because it's easy to deliver, whatever, like for whatever reason that's a popular one. A website is like there's so much more that goes into it, and maybe if you're the agency owner, you definitely need to at least know the behind the scenes stuff. You need to know the basics if you're going to resell it. But I give Ahmed very little direction and I get a full blown working, website. And it's really, that's definitely the standout one because it's very little input and I get it like a client ready sellable product, so
Excellent.
that's a
Yeah,
big one.
that's kind of the goal, right? Like that's one of our goals is to make businesses be able to plug their business in to the platform and just get what they need done and not have to think about it. Like
Yes.
we didn't necessarily anticipate that when we started, but
Hmm.
it's something that the feedback that we've gotten is I don't know what to pick. I want somebody to like help us find the right stuff, and I just want to not have to think about it. So that's I'm glad to hear that that's how it's working for you.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's the goal with any good agency owner, any good business owner, any good freelancer, whatever, wherever you fall in that like complete solution A to Z. It doesn't have to fix all their problems under the sun, but whatever problem you're addressing, it should be a complete thing that you're doing, and that's been a big one for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wherever people are watching this, I'll link to the services that he mentioned. Is there anything else you want to tell us or share with us?
Nothing really that jumps out at me or comes to mind, but yeah, been a great platform to use. Like I said, I think it's a great platform, and I really am trying to like see how I would scale the website design side of things, and that
I would
service in
think you could get
particular.
3 or 4 grand out of a site like that, right?
You easily could. I mean, it all just depends on how many you're selling, who you're selling it to. But like the most expensive site that I've sold was 5 grand. And that one still took a lot of work on my end, only because like the client just dragged things out. It was like an ongoing project. But the actual design itself never changed. And, that was all done by Legit, on that service. And then I had two other ones that he helped with that were like, he calls it his like fancy package, for businesses that are, want to stand out more and this kind of stuff. And they were both, it was a business that kind of popped up during COVID. And they're still going strong, but it's a field trip on a bus. So instead of taking the kids to the field trip, they bring the field trip to the kids, and they called it you can look it up. It's called thewildthing.org, and it's like a, I don't know, like a reptile zoo where you learn about like reptiles and animals and stuff like that. And it's a cool website. It's a really cool like business that they have. So it needed something a little different, I think. And those ones I charged $3,500, and besides dealing with the client, which is a good part of the overall work,
Yeah.
but I didn't really have to do any design, and $3,500. So yeah, those are some of my higher ticket ones.
That's awesome. Like, I never really did, when I was doing the agency, I never really did web design because I don't have the patience to go back
Yeah,
and forth.
yeah, you got to pick which headache you want.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
cool though. Funny thing with him, with Ahmed, is that he didn't even start, he just started with SEO services. And like, I saw his thumbnails. I was like, your thumbnails are really fucking good. You should start a service for that. And then like, now he's like the top graphics and web design seller.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's super cool. If you need agency services or you want to talk about any of this stuff, hit me up. Find me where you can find me on social media, or go to my website, rethinkwebsolutions.com. It's always good to connect with other, business owners and entrepreneurs. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to plug.
All right. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I appreciate you coming on today. We'll get this on probably on YouTube soon. And yeah,
Okay.
if there's ever anything you need, let us know and we'll help you out.
Okay. Sounds good. I appreciate it, Chris.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. See ya.